Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at the Pseudocrenilabrus multicolor victoriae, or the Egyptian Mouthbrooder, and I'm super stoked to get these fish. I've never kept them before and they are absolutely a blast to watch. Let's check them out. So of course I bust out the camera and now they decided to get shy on me. I did drop some food in there, so hopefully they'll come out. You'll notice I have the water level low because there are baby bikers in here. There's one there, there's one back there, and there's one in there. So I just lower that water level so they don't jump out. Come on guys, I was just bragging about how super fun you are to watch and now you're going to be boring. Got some really bad glare going on. Like I said, these are the Egyptian Mouthbrooders. Kind of a fun fact, they are some of the first mouth brooding cichlids introduced in the hobby back in the 60s, which is why they have that name. And then of course with the explosion of African cichlids, now people kind of associate mouth brooding with cichlids, but these were one of, if not the first mouth brooding cichlid in the hobby. Also have that blue lipstick, which is awesome. Now I do think I ended up with 5 males and only the 1 female right there, which might be a problem. These guys love planted tanks, and I know you're saying, where are all the plants? Well, they're floating right there. Just kidding, this is where we're going to keep them while they're in quarantine, and then they'll be moving to a planted 40 breeder. You can see the dominant male there is the one in the middle, just really bright yellow. Bunch of subdominant males, and the female is kind of this bland one right here. Now, these do top out at about 2.5 to 3 inches, so they are still considered a dwarf cichlid. So, you know, a 40-gallon tank is perfectly all right for these guys. The other cool thing about these, unlike other mouth brooding cichlids, is that they do care for the fry after spitting them. A lot of the African cichlids just kind of spit and move on their way. The female does care for the fry, but it is still recommended to remove them, just because you can get some aggression in here, as you see like that, and fry can get picked off. The only thing required to spawn them is having a little open area like this. The male will dig out like a little pit, a little circle pit, start doing a little bunch of 360s in there, entice the female down there. They'll do their little dance, and she will obviously raise them in her mouth. They are relatively peaceful. They will get aggressive when spawning, and as you can see, there's always going to be a dominant male, but as long as you have enough, you can spread around the aggression, so it's not that big of a deal. Other fish will do just fine with them as long as they're not, you know, lower region little dwarf cichlids, so like tetras, rainbow fish, anything that's going to swim around in the upper column will do just fine. Now I would spit off some water parameters for these guys, but honestly it really doesn't matter. If you're keeping your water clean with no nitrites, no ammonia, they will breed. You don't have to worry about it. Now obviously we're not talking extremes like 4.5 pH or 9.5 pH, but your standard tropical setup will house these and they will breed just fine. Now I am planning on breeding these, and when I do, I am going to remove the female, put her in her own tank. It takes about 2 weeks for her to spit the fry, and in that time she's not going to eat. So she's going to be really weak, and she probably won't be able to take the bullying and the pushing around. So it's just a good idea to fatten her back up and let her get her strength back before putting her back into this kind of environment. See, that dominant male is definitely establishing dominance. They will also accept just about any food you throw in here. Obviously variety is good, and good quality food would be better, but frozen, freeze-dried, flake, pellets, they're eating little micro pellets now. But I've thrown in flake, I've thrown in bloodworms, blackworms so far, and they gobble it just right up. Not picky at all. Alright folks, there you go, the Pseudocrenilabrus multicolor victoriae. I highly recommend this fish. I honestly think I've never seen this fish for sale in any pet store. I had to special order these in through my local fish store, so they are available, but they're an absolute blast to watch. They have that herky-jerky motion like all Victorian cichlids, which is really fun, and they're fairly peaceful, well, relatively for an African cichlid, but still pretty peaceful. Planted community tanks, they should do just fine. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you all next time.